me just something. Okay, we're live. So the day has gone by. We got this news today about the Long Island serial killer case sometime around 1 p.m. this afternoon. Very interesting. Very interesting. So I've been trying to basically think of some things, and I had some new thoughts, so I was just gonna share with you guys. I'll wait until you guys get in here. Let me just find my channel so I could pull up my chat. Hold on one second. I gotta get a thing for my microphone so it's not on my desk. There we are. There we are. So yeah, I've been like staring at this thing all day. Whoop! Hold on a second. Okay. Hey everybody. Hey everybody. So I went on Web Sleuth with which I had joined years ago to follow this case, and I didn't see anything, which I found a little bit surprising. Maybe I wasn't looking in the right area because I haven't been on in quite a while, so I think some things got changed around a little bit, and so I guess maybe I don't know where I am anymore. I haven't really been on there in a while. What's up, Love Hollis? Oh, Purple Rain. Purple Rain, I'll get in touch with you. Hope you're feeling a little better. Get some rest, girl. I was watching the Islanders game with my son. It's rough when my husband works nights. Not gonna lie. He's still up. I'm like, go to bed. It was Rangers versus Islanders, so the Rangers scored. It was tied, and like within the last 25 seconds of the game, the Rangers scored and won. Boo, Rangers. But anyway, so okay. I was looking at these initials. I'll show them to you guys in case anybody hasn't seen this. I don't know if everybody has followed this case. I know it made national, headlines. NYC. It made headlines. It was all over the place. But it's been forgotten about pretty much for about 9 years now. I think they found the bodies back in 2011 in December. I'm wondering, this is kind of strange. I was thinking this before. Here's one of the thoughts that I was having. I was thinking, there's a Netflix series, or either movie or series, or documentary that's dropping, I think, like next week. So I kind of find it a little weird that they dropped this a week before the Netflix thing. It seems like they do that a lot. So there you go. This is the new evidence now. If anybody wasn't here earlier today, this is initials. So it's either a WH, or they flipped it over, or it's an HM. Somebody left a comment under my video before. I don't know if you're in here, but they're like, HM is H&M. And I'm like, yeah, I think they would have, figured that one out. This obviously looks like somebody took, I don't know if it's a pen or what, a marker, like a paint marker or something, and wrote the initials. Now I'm trying to think today, what would be a reason that you would write your initials on your belt? Like, why would somebody write their initials on their belt, right? You would only do that if you lived somewhere or worked somewhere where there's a lot of people with the same belt. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't, I have to go back to the press conference. I don't know if the police commissioner said that it was, what kind of belt it was. I don't remember them specifying, but I thought they said a black belt. I could be wrong. If that's the case, then these initials look to be written on the inside. You know how a black belt will have, this is on a belt. They didn't give much detail. So this looks to me like it would be on the inside of the belt. So I started thinking, a lot of men who are in the, unions or just in the construction industry, they would write their initials on their belt if they have to change at work. Or, and this is what I'm thinking now, if you had a tool belt. that you left somewhere. My husband goes to work, just for instance, and they have a gang box where they keep all their tools and stuff on the job site, so they don't have to carry them back and forth all the time. So I was thinking that this is possibly maybe from a tool belt or some type of belt from work that they initialed, because I don't know any other reason why somebody would put their initials on their belt. The other thing is, these might not even be the person's initials. These could be a company's initials. So, very interesting. The police commissioner said that this was embossed. To me, embossed is either like popped out or indented in. You know what I'm saying? Like as if you took like a metal stamp and stamped the letters in. They didn't give much detail. And I want to show you guys this too. Hold on, let me just pull this up. So they started this website for the case called www.gilgo. I believe it's Gilgo News. I'm going to pull it up for you guys. We'll take a look at that. I think that's it. And I'm like, why would they make a whole website, devoted to this day and age when there's social media and man, the same thing happened to me before when I tried to do this. All right, let me try this way. And I'm wondering if I wonder if they're going to be tracking who comes to this website, because it's just kind of weird that they need a whole entire website for this. It's just strange to me. But how come I can't find this now? Gilgo. Let me put Gilgo News. I believe that's the name of the website, but when you type it in for some reason, there we go. Okay, let me just take this off, and let me stop this screen share. All right, and then we're gonna look at this other thing. Hold on, stop screen sharing. Okay, let's go over to this. All right, so this is what the police put up. Hi, Gigi's Life. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm like all over my screen right now, so it's kind of hard to see you guys. So I hope you don't mind that I'm not paying too close attention. Let me actually do the pop-out chat over here so I can see if you guys have any questions while I'm looking at this. Okay, so let me just make this a little smaller for myself. All right. So this is a website, right, that they made completely dedicated, and I noticed a couple of things. They're probably going to be like, holy shit, why is this one IP address keep coming all day? I must have looked at this thing like 10 times. So they show the area, I guess, where the bodies were found. This probably isn't the exact area, but you guys see how small this land is. It's crazy. The bodies were on the north side, so this is the bay. I don't know if you guys could see my mouse. I think you can. All this up here where the water's all nice and calm, that's the bay, and all this brush back here, that's where the bodies were. Now this picture was obviously taken in the winter time, so there's not much shrubbery going on, but these bodies were all put there, I believe, in like May or like during summer months or spring months. So it's pretty interesting. I don't believe that this site right here that they have a picture of is where it was, the bodies exactly were found. But like, you guys see how small this is? I mean, it's like unbelievable. The water comes up, and in fact, when Sandy hit, Hurricane Sandy, this was all underwater. Okay, it washed parts of the road away, so they had to rebuild it. This was, of course, after the bodies were discovered, but I thought to myself, imagine that happened during the time when the bodies were there. They never would have been found. They would have got sucked into the ocean. That would have been the end of it. So pretty interesting, but this is whatever. This is just the homepage. So they got latest news. They give a little bit of the backstory. Look how short this is, really. This is the backstory. I'll read it to you guys real quick. It says Shannon Gilbert, a Craigslist escort, went missing from a client's house in Oak Beach on the South Shore of Long Island on May 1st, 2010. During the months that followed her disappearance, K-9 officers incorporated training exercises into searches of the area surrounding Gilbert's last known location. During one exercise on December 11th, 2010, a set of skeletal remains was discovered in an area near Gilgo Beach off Ocean Parkway. The remains located would later be identified as Melissa Bartholomew. Somebody said the name before the other girl. It was Waterman. I think they said Waterhouse or something, but it's Waterman. Anyway, so it says 2 days after the first discovery, the remains of 3 other Craigslist escorts were located in close proximity to Bartholomew's remains. The 3 sets of remains would later be identified as Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Megan Waterman, and Amberlynn Costello. All 4 women were reported missing between July 2007 and September 2010. So it says, while continuing the search for Shannan Gilbert, several miles east of where the 4 Craigslist escorts were found, a set of partial skeleton remains were found on March 29, 2011. The remains were later identified as those of Jessica Taylor. Just keep this in mind, this girl's name. Another known escort. Taylor's partial remains were previously discovered on July 26, 2003, off Hazley Manor Road in Manorville. If you guys were here earlier, I showed you guys on Google Maps basically how far apart these 2 sites are. I'll show you again, but just keep that one girl's name in mind because, oh, you'll see, and I'll tell you guys why. Less than a week later, as part of the continuing search for Shannan Gilbert, 3 additional sets of remains were discovered on April 4th, 2011. The first set was later determined to be those of a female whose partial remains were discovered by hunters in a wooded area off Hazley Manor Road in Manorville on November 19th, 2000. So now we have 2 women who partial remains were found both on this beach, okay, and then out in Manorville. Very weird. So it says those remains remain unidentified and are known as Jane Doe number 6. A second set of skeletal remains discovered near Jane Doe number 6 were those of an unidentified female toddler. So now there's a baby involved, which is sick. And I believe they connected the mother and the baby together, okay? So genetically. So they said west of Jane Doe number 6, and the infant female toddler, hold on a second, were the skeletal remains of an unidentified Asian male. Like, what? Where does that fit into the picture? That was like what threw a lot of people on this case, okay? So it says on, oh, I think they meant to write 1. Nice going here, Suffolk. So it says 1 week later, while searching further west along Ocean Parkway in Nassau County, 2 additional sets of skeletonized remains were found approximately 7 miles away from the discovery on April 4th. One set is believed to be the mother of the toddler, found a week earlier. Okay, so that's the mother. Okay. The other set of partial remains was linked through DNA analysis to remains found in Davis Park on Fire Island in 1996. So some of this shit goes back to 1996. Now, I want to explain to you guys something, and I'm going to pull up the map for a second here, because this is interesting. Hold on a second. Let me just get this pulled up. I want you guys to see this, because it's really interesting. We got maps. Long Island. Okay. All right. So, let me just go to this. Maps. And I'm going to zoom in. Oh, I'm zooming out. All right. I'm not as good with the map thing here as Grace is, but... All right. Let me just close this. Okay. Let me switch my screen here. Sorry, this is a pain in the ass, but... Oh, you guys could see it already. Oh, all right. Never mind. All right, so... So Gilgo Beach is over here, okay? It's over here, really. Up here on the left top side. Now, Fire Island is something completely different, although this is still kind of considered Fire Island. You see it says Fire Island right there. To get to Fire Island, you have to go a little bit further out. Let me zoom this in so that it shows hopefully more information here. Because there's all different parts of Fire Island, right? I should put this on satellite view. Hold on a second. Let me just do that. We'll get rid of this. So you could drive across this bridge. I showed you guys this a little earlier. Hey, Neek. She's like, call me. I can't right now. I'll call you in a little bit. Neek, they found some new evidence, so it's pretty interesting. I enjoy when you look into a car. What the hell does that mean? What does that even mean? I'm trying to find where Ocean Beach. No, that's way too far out. Okay. Hold on a second. I have to get myself situated here. Okay. Well, Fire Island, like, all right, for instance, where it says West Sayville out here, there's a ferry you could take across, okay? Because once you cross over here, there's an inlet, and then this is Fire Island, and you can't get to this. There's no road here, in other words, okay? We'll zoom in. The road stops here, right here. So if you want to get through the rest of the island, you really can't. There's nowhere to really drive to. I know it looks like there's a road, but there's not. You can't drive through there. Maybe emergency vehicles can, but you cannot drive there. So if you want to go to Fire Island, and go to any of these places like Ocean Beach, you have to take the ferry there, and that's the only way you could get there. These aren't roads. These are basically, well, I'll see how much we could zoom in here. So these are basically walkways. They're not roads. There's no cars on Fire Island. There's no vehicles. There might be like little golf carts. Some people have them, but most people over here ride bikes, and that's how you get around this area. One of my mom's cousins actually has a house around here. So the other set of remains, hold on, let's just look at that again. They were found on Davis Park. Okay, so Davis Park is actually a little bit further out here. So in other words, whoever did this either had a boat or they took the ferry, but are they carrying remains with them? How did they get on Fire Island? Like, it's crazy. But that was back in 1996. I can't find Davis Park, but I know it's... Ugh. Hold on, let me zoom out. It's so annoying because these things disappear when you zoom out. Ocean Beach. I thought Davis Park was further out east, but I could be wrong. All right. It is. It has to be. I thought it was by... hold on a second. Cherry Grove. This is a big gay area, actually. A lot of... gay people live there in Cherry Grove. It's kind of cool. They have this, they do a show every year with all the, what do you call it? Drag queens and stuff. So it's pretty cool. I've never been there personally, but I would like to go there one day because it's a good time. Where the hell's Davis Park? I'm trying to think. Let me see where I am up here. Sorry, guys. I'm like, it's been a while since I've looked at, oh, there's Davis Park right there. Okay, so, all right, Davis Park. How do you put those little pin things? That would help. Davis Park is all the way right there where my mouse thing is, right? Okay, look at the left, and you see where it says Gilgo Oak Beach? That's where the remains were found, the bulk of them. So, whoever had these remains here, they had to take the ferry from Sayville or Bayport. That's basically what I'm trying to tell you guys. You can't drive on here. There's no road to drive on. So it's pretty interesting. Either they had their own boat, which you could obviously, get across this water with a boat, but you can't, you see if we zoom into any one of these little areas where there's a lot of houses, you see there's like a marina, and it's pretty cool. I mean, you can see all the little boats out there. So it's interesting. But yeah, that is how you would have to get there. You have to get there by boat. So some of the remains were found there, right? That was 1996. And then other remains were found, hold on, all the way out here. Okay? I don't know exactly where that road is. Hazley Manor Road. but a lot of them were found in this area in Manorville. Okay, so it's pretty interesting. Let's take a look over here and see if we can find this road because I know it's a main road somewhere in Manorville. So like these areas are pretty far from one another. That's what I find so interesting about this. Like this is, if you're going to go to Gilgo Beach from here, you're talking like a good, I don't know, 20-minute, 25-minute ride, Who's taking that chance with body parts? It's just crazy. This is another beach down here where people go, like a public beach, but most people go to Robert Moses, which is right by Gilgo. Gilgo's more like a town beach. So there's Jones Beach and there's Robert Moses, which is where, a lot of people that live in that area in the center of Long Island, that's where you would go to the beach. But if you live in Babylon, if you guys see up here, back on the mainland, it says Babylon, West Islip, you would go to Gilgo. It's part of the town of Babylon, so they own it, and it's for their residents, if that makes sense. I mean, anybody could go there. Yeah, Gray, where do you do the pins? How do I do the pins? Gray Hughes is here, everybody. Shut up. No. Gray actually has a great video on his channel showing where the remains are. I am so bad at Google Maps, Gray. It's not even funny. But, so I feel like these different sets of remains are not related to each other. Although, yes, maybe these people were known prostitutes like this. Who is the one that I told you guys to pay attention to her name? She was one of the ones that was found further west. Let me just show you guys that before I get into this. So, all right. So the bulk of the bodies were found in this area between Gilgo State Park and Gilgo Beach. Then when they found the additional remains, they were all the way over here. Okay. Near Jones Beach. So they were west of Gilgo. All right. And so that could have been a person coming from Nassau over this, bridge and dumping them. Okay. Or, this person could have came from this way. It's hard to say. Hard to say. Could it be the same person? Absolutely. I just think why change your MO up? The first the first 4 bodies they found were the most recently killed. Okay. So they were all found. They don't give much detail. Some people say, Bissett. Some people say, hey, Pink, how you doing? Some people say that they had burlap. I don't know if that was ever 100% confirmed by police because I do remember watching an interview here on YouTube with the ex-police chief, which I think his name was Spota, S-P-O-T-A. And he said that something about the burlap bags not ever being confirmed. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. My whole point is that those 4 girls, they were all found in the similar way and within a few, whether it was 100 feet or whatever of one another, okay? The other remains, the Jane Doe, the baby, the Asian guy, and, these other people that were not entire people, just parts of them, they were found way west of Gilgo Beach. So is it possible that 2 killers used this area? Sure. But it could also be, the same person. It's just weird that they would switch up their MO. You know what I'm saying? These girls were all listed on Craigslist as escorts, and that's where they were pretty much found. As far as Shannan Gilbert goes, I personally don't feel like it's related, and a lot, the police even don't feel like it's related, because unfortunately, hey Mimi, unfortunately, when they found her body, it was so, badly decomposed, they couldn't get much. The attorney for her family had a independent autopsy done, and that autopsy claims that the hyoid bone was broken meaning that she was strangled. Because most of the time when people are strangled, that bone breaks. So hard to say, but it's pretty interesting. I mean, why would this person cut people up, right? And then dump half their remains out in Manorville, half of them, out here in this Gilgo area, or half of them in Manorville, and then half of them in uh, Davis Park. It's just mind boggling, in a place where you have to go there by boat. So maybe the killer had a boat. I don't know. I would assume because I don't think you're bringing, body parts on the ferry with you. I would assume that wouldn't go too good. So is it possible? Sure. But they were found in a garbage pail, I believe. I think it was like an arm. I don't even know. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to make a website, put some goddamn, detail on it, for fuck's sakes. Suffolk. Anyway, so let's go see what else they got here on this website. If my computer ever decides. What was that? Was that case info? No. Okay. So here. Okay. Now this is weird. This is weird to me. I think it was 10 sets of remains or 11 sets, was it? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're missing, obviously, people. They have the Asian man. Why do I feel like they're missing somebody? They are. I think they're missing two people here, or 2 sets of remains that haven't been identified yet. The weird thing is, I told you guys that Jessica Taylor when I first read the first part. Oh, cool, awesome, great. I'm gonna check that out in a second. So Jessica Taylor, they have a picture of her. I don't know why the picture's not up here. It's so bizarre. I wonder why they didn't put it here. But if you click on each one of these names, it gives you, I mean, look at that. Really? We need more detail than this, because if you're looking for help from the public, how about putting the whole story? So it says the body of an unidentified female was found in a wooded area on northwest corner on Hazley Manor Road and the Long Island Expressway. Oh, okay. We could look at that. In Manorville on July 26, 2003. So let me get off this screen share because I'm going to grab Gray's email and I don't need you guys seeing my email. So hold on one second. No offense, but kind of like my own personal business. I love you guys, but I don't want to share my personal shit with you. All right, hold on. I wouldn't mind what most of you guys, but we know there's lurkers who are fucking assholes. All right, so Gray, I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link when I get back into let me pull my Gmail up because I had to go through Google for some reason. When you type the actual name into the thing, it doesn't work. I don't know why. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Suffolk County. Because every website they make sucks. They need to hire a new freaking web designer. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. There any government websites that you have to go on for Suffolk County are just, oh my God, they're terrible. Oh, thanks, Gray. You sent me some good things. All right, hold on. Let me just grab this so I could help Gray out. Let me just go to the home page. I don't know why, Gray. I don't know why it's not working when you do that, but I'm gonna email you back so you have a copy of it. Makeup Mobster Investigations. I like this stuff. This case is very, it's home. It's so close to me. It's a place that I was 100 times in my life, so it's interesting. Ooh, I just got an interesting email. I'm gonna show you guys that in a minute. I'll read it to you. Oh, nice. Look at Gray, man. He's so good. He's so good. All right, let me Gray's like an expert at Google Maps. I'm not that good with it because I don't really use it, to be honest. Let me download this. And where do I reply? All right, I'm just going to reply back to Gray because I'm sure he's going to want to show his people this website. So, all right, so I just sent that back, waiting for this to download here so I could open it up. Ooh, I should save it to my Google Drive. Good idea. And I'll open this up for you guys and I'll tell you. Oh, wow, Gray, this is amazing. Just amazing. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry. I gotta get a thing so you guys don't hear my mouse thing. It's so annoying. Um, anyway, this case is just so like fascinating to me. There's so many like weird twists and turns. I mean, just the whole way that they found all these bodies, that it was like totally by accident. You know, there was a training exercise going on looking for another person. They end up finding, you know, it's just crazy. How come this is what's going on here? How come I can't find Gray's map? Ugh, hold on. Very interesting. Oh, here we go. Oh, all right. I don't want it on here though. Open with, let me see. Opening this item will add it to your drive. Okay. I just want to open it in another window. I just don't want it on my email. So hold on. Third party apps. Jeez Louise. What's going on here? Yeah, I don't feel comfortable doing this. Hold on. I don't know why it's not downloading. It's saying it is, but it's not. Alright. Oh, maybe I need to see what the name of it is. Hold on a second, guys. Bear with me for a moment. I'm a little slow. I just want to see it. How come it's pointing down there? Oh, silly me. Alright. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Alright, it's opening up now. Hopefully. Okay, there we go. Alright, let me come back over here and we'll take a look at this. Now I know why freaking Laura has two monitors. It's so annoying. I might have to buy another monitor. Because you're like switching back and forth. Holy shit. And I have a big monitor too, so this is like ridiculous. Anyway. Also, if you guys wonder my live from earlier today while I'm trying to find myself here, I left a link underneath to my Amazon store. You don't have to go through there. If you go in my Amazon store through my live, through my link, I have a link to the book. It's in my list. So I have a section called Makeup Mobster Books. You guys can go in there and I linked the book by Robert Kolker, his name is. I think that's how you say it. And it's pretty interesting. It's a good book. And if you want to learn a lot about this case, it's pretty good. It's a good read. So if you're interested. All right. Here we go. Here's Gray's picture. Finally. All right. So I can't really, zoom in much, but you guys could see there's the bridge there on the right hand, that right top hand side where you see that kind of yellow line coming through. So Gray basically showed where everything was. Okay, so Shanna Gilbert's body was found. If you guys were here earlier, I showed where the houses were on Oak Beach, and her body, I believe, was found east of those houses. Okay. And then you got all the other ones here. So let's see. We got, oh, how do you like that? So you got Jessica Taylor. I'm just going to show you guys. I'm just going to point out. So we got Jessica Taylor here. That's Barnes. That's Maureen Brainerd Barnes. Gray's got the little pin. Costello and Bartholomew. So these were the bodies that were first found, okay? Costello, Waterman, Barnes, and Bartholomew. And I know they look very close together here because, like Gray said, it's so zoomed out. But they were, in reality, they were probably about 100 feet or so away from one another. Even more. They could have been more than that. So then you got Jessica Taylor. I thought they were found west. Jessica Taylor. Wow, that's interesting. I thought they were found on the other side of them. Am I wrong? Well, whatever. You got the toddler and I guess the mother. So they were found between Oak Beach and the Asian male was right there, huh? I always thought they were all found west of that area because, and the only reason I think that is because when they were doing the search, my husband actually used to take this road to work, and he passed it during that time when they were doing the searches. They would have it closed off sometimes, but it was a lot easier for him to Don't go near there. Nah, it's all right. It's safe over there. Trust me, this guy ain't coming back. Yeah, Gray Hughes did this map. This is a Gray Hughes map. Um, so it's pretty interesting. I could have sworn they were all found closer to Jones Beach because they moved it. You know, they did this search, the initial search during winter, and then I believe a whole entire, spring and summer passed, and then they had to wait until the winter to search more. And then the next following year, and Gray has it marked off. I think these are when they were found. You could see that Barnes, Waterman, Bartholomew, Costello, they're all found in December of 2010. Then the following year is when they found all of the other remains. Okay, so I could drop a link for Gray if he wants to come up. Yeah, that would be awesome. Hold on a second. Let me grab that for you, Gray Hughes. You want me to email it, or I mean, I don't mind dropping it in the chat. I'll just put it in here. And you could come on down. Let Gray explain this. I am a little foggy on the details here, so it's been a while. Who's a weirdo? Oh, the doctor. The doctor. I don't think he's involved. I think he's just a local busybody. And if you guys read this book, Lost Girls, which I think is the Netflix documentary, if I'm correct, is going to be based on this book. So, if you guys read it, you'll kind of have like a little better understanding of the characters. I've always personally hated about this case that so much focus is put on Shanna Gilbert, because it takes away from the other people, and I really don't think that Shanna Gilbert was. I don't know. I don't think she was part of this. I could be wrong. The police don't think so either. So it's hard to say. Her attorney is quite a character, but I have to give this guy credit. He has been the only advocate for these women, not just Shannon, but for all the women, and their mothers and their families, because these girls just got forgotten about. They got completely lost in the shuffle. Because I'll tell you right now, if these were 4 rich people's daughters, I definitely think there would be a lot more attention on this case. But, people wrote these girls off because they went the wrong way in life. They took the wrong path in life. And so they get written off and they're not as important. And that sucks. It really does. Michelle, one of the mothers, Shannon's mother, claimed that the escort, that he called her and that he told her that he was running a house for wayward girls or some nonsense. I don't know. And I don't think she ever actually went to his house. He later retracted that. There was another guy named Gus Coletti. Is Gray coming up? Because I dropped the link. If he can't find it, I'll email it to him. There was another guy named Gus Coletti, and he was, here he is. She came to his house. Oh, Gray's already all prepared. He comes here. He's like the kid in class that has a pencil. Hey, Gray Hughes. You're so much better than me.
Oh, wait, do I need to turn something on? Echo.
Are you echoing? I don't hear you.
I hear myself twice.
Oh, you hear yourself twice. Hold on a second. Let me, why are you hearing yourself twice? What's going on here?
I don't know. I turned it might be coming during that meeting.
Is it? There is an echo. Okay. How do I fix this? Hold on a second. Oh, let me mute. That's how. This is weird. Hold on a second, because you should be coming through my headphones, not out of my computer. So let me just see if I could figure this out. I'm not a StreamYards expert by any means. Where's my little settings? Hold on a second. Audio. Guests. Okay. Guests. See viewer comments. Play a sound when a guest enters. Nope. Hold on. Audio. Let me see. Yeti microphone. Okay. All right. Let me see if this works. You there?
Testing.
All right.
Hey,
Yeah.
look at that.
Hold on. Let me just make sure. Could everybody in the chat hear Gray?
Yeah.
I want to make sure everybody could hear Gray. And, hold on a second. You got, all right, good. All right. Yay! All right, Grace. So what do you got? What do you have to add to this? This is interesting.
Oh, I was just gonna. You can see better when you're you're closer in like this. See that?
In the oh, all right.
Yeah, when you're way out there, everything starts cluttering up like that, right?
Oh, could I screen share you?
Yeah, aren't I doing? I'm using my in
Hold on.
OBS. I can use my. I am sharing my screen.
Yeah, but you're small. I want to make you big. Hold on a second. Let me
Oh,
see if I could do that. I gotta stop sharing this. Okay, and then let me see if I can.
that's pretty big. It's right in the middle.
Yeah, that's bigger. Way bigger. How do I get you? I just saw something too that I could do this. No, I don't want to ban you from the studio. Ah. Oh, screen share. Hold on a second. Does it say guest? No. All right.
Yeah,
Damn it.
I'm not a StreamYard.
Yeah, me neither. I've honestly, this is like probably shit. One of my few times, first few times actually, like having somebody else on. All right. Well, you guys could see. I mean, I'm sorry. I wish I figure this out. Does anybody? Oh, you have to make him a presenter, but how though? I'm so bad at
Is there
this.
like 3 dots or anything underneath my name?
Yeah, there's 3 dots, but when they come up, it just says kick from studio, banned from studio. Let me see if I don't want to remove you. Oh, wait. I think I know. I think I know. Is that it? Nope. Because I know there's different ways we could, ooh. All right. That's interesting. See, I just made you a little bit bigger.
I think. Yeah, I think. Well, now I'm.
Can I do this? Hold on.
That kind of works.
No. All right. That's a little bigger.
Oops, sorry.
Hey.
That's somebody subscribing to me.
Oh, that's so funny. How do you do that? How does it know when somebody's subscribing to you?
It's through Streamlabs.
Hold on a second. This is gonna annoy me. All right. God, I wish I was a little better prepared for this.
Well, I think I could sort of work with that.
All right. Yeah. See what you got there. See what you could do with that.
Yeah. So here, one of the things that's interesting, if you go down to the Street View here.
Right.
Let's see. Sometimes it hasn't been working. There you go. It works.
Nice.
Well, if you go down to Street View in some of these areas, they actually have marks on the ground.
Yes. I was going to mention that.
Like right here.
There's like spray paint or something, right?
Didn't work that time.
You could see them when you go down when you go down there. It's pretty cool. Well, it's not cool, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's good to have an actual marker. Look at that, how it doesn't even go to Street View for some reason.
Huh.
For some, I don't know why it's doing that, but let's see.
There used to be actual crosses. There were these. There they are. You see it? You just passed it. There it is.
Yeah, and then right there's a Waterman.
Oh, I didn't even know that. It was the initials. Wow.
Yeah, so right on the side of the road has the initials, and then you can zoom in, and it even says Megan on there.
Yeah, right. I remember those. I remember the crosses. Those aren't there anymore. They've been. They might be. Maybe the families replaced them. But there was big ones. There was big ones at one time. Oh my God! Look at that, Barnes.
And then more. It says Marine in there.
Wow, I gotta go down there. Do you know when this Google Maps was taken? Great, because doesn't it say?
Yeah, this is actually right around that time. This is 2012.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I have a friend, Cairo. He was just out there. He drives all around the country, also.
Right.
And he was there, and he said there's all kinds of marks on the ground and everything right now. So.
Wow. I had gone a couple of years ago. I had driven actually up to Oak Beach, and I was gonna do a video from there. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe this is a good time of year for me to drive down there. I'll take you guys for a little tour of the area. It's kind of cool.
I think there's even one here where the Asian male was found. Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah, look, an arrow.
And it even has AM, right?
Wow.
And I think this was an error. You can see they crossed it out.
Holy.
Because they had Waterman, I think, there.
Oh, Megan Waterman, yeah, right.
But this is where the Asian male was, and then go out. And that's actually how I pinpointed it exactly. I was close, and then I went to you, and I was like, "Oh, well,
now your pins are those. do you think those are accurate to like how deep in? Because they weren't very deep into the woods, from what I
Oh, I don't.
understand.
Yeah, I don't have any idea about
See,
that.
this is so misleading if you saw what it looked like when everything was grown in, because obviously this is taken during the winter time. I mean, you can't even walk through there. The police were having trouble getting through this area because like the bramble, it's so densely tangled in, and I don't know, it's hard to walk through there, they were saying. I remember that during the searches, the police were getting all scratched up and
Yeah.
it's
Well, it's kind of
crazy.
interesting. Like all of these are kind of clumped together, but then there's this pretty big gap compared to
Right.
the other ones to get to the toddler. And wasn't part of her body the other was in that other town? Like,
Yeah, there was one that was all the way out east in this town called Manorville, and then one of them was uh the shoot uh Davis Park on Fire Island, which I don't know if you were in here, but I was saying like that's weird to me because this it suggests that the killer had a boat that they were able to come across, or either that or they carried body parts on the ferry because you can't get to that area by driving there. There's no road. It looks like there is on the map. So if you go east of the toddler and you see the inlet right there where the beach is kind of, I
mhm.
mean, the water comes in. So there's a little bit of roadway over there, but it stops. That's Fire Island. So when you guys, I don't know how many people have ever heard of Fire Island. It's a I wouldn't call it a tourist area. It's kind of where like we go to vacation in a sense, Long Island people. There's only houses there, so there's no stores really. There's nothing there, but right a little bit after that bridge, that's where, yeah, see the bridge right there? Go down south a little bit. Okay, so you see that circle, where that's when you come off the bridge, there's a circle and there's this thing everybody refers to as a pencil. It's like a lighthouse kind of looking thing. Then if you go, yeah, there it is. There's a pencil. Then if you go west, wow, you're so good at this. There it is. Oh
I
my
can't go
God,
to
it's so
street
weird.
from
That's
here.
all right. If you go, the road continues for a little bit in the east direction, so it'd be to our right that we're looking at. Yeah. And then you'll see if you took that down, it's just kind of like a turnabout and then you just turn around, but there's no road. I think there's a road, but buses, you see where it kind of lets off there? You can't drive there though. You see where that turnaround is?
No,
Go a
sorry,
little
I'm
bit.
kind of moving.
All
Go ahead.
right. So
Right
there's
ahead.
that kind of parking lot looking thing. I don't know what that is. And then right after that, there's a turnaround area. See, those parking lots are where you would park if you're going to the beach. Okay. So there's where you turn around. That's it. That's all you could drive. So the rest of that land heading out to the east end of Long Island, there's no road. It looks like there's a road, but I do think that's for emergency vehicles only. Like you cannot drive on Fire Island. So
So, what are
it's
all these parking spots
this
for?
is all for the
Sunny-
beach.
Like a
So
sunny day? I mean, my God, that'd be like 50,
yeah,
100
well, this
people.
had to be taken during the winter or something, or like, spring, because when you go during the summer, these parking lots are packed. I mean, you can't even find a parking spot.
What's
That's
the point?
field 5. They have them all. I don't know why they do this. I've never really
That's
quite understood
June.
it.
That's June, but that's still not even that.
Oh,
Maybe
really? Wow.
it's September, so that's not. But we don't
Yeah.
know what time of day it is.
Right, right.
And look at
Yeah.
this. Let's see what it looks like when we go back to. This is 2000 September 2010.
Whoa.
When were those bodies found? October.
Around there, yeah. December 2010.
Isn't that wild? So right now on this map, there's those bodies are still sitting there. We just can't see.
Holy shit.
It's just kind of
Wow.
weird to think like that, but that's
Yeah,
true.
no. That's
Yeah, because this is September 2010. That's November 2011. So some of them were picked up, but then there was some more. Well, that's
wow.
it. They're all gone by then. But it's weird to see that. But
That's crazy. That's crazy to think that they're in there now, like, but nobody knows at this
you
point
just
in
think when you
time.
drove by, they were there, right? Because
Yeah,
you,
my husband drove by every day on the way to work because this was kind of like he was working on the South Shore, but out east in this town called Long Beach, right? So it's easier to get there using this highway because there's no traffic. There's never anybody on this highway. So he would take this here, and I mean, I've passed it. I can't even tell you how many times I've passed that area. I used to go to Gilgo Beach because there's a little area where you could drive your truck onto the beach and you could hang out in your truck, and so I used to go there. It's unbelievable, and
And you could just go at night, and then you could look and see if there's any lights coming from way away, and have time to dump a body. Right?
Gray, there's nothing there. Like, it is so desolate there at night. There's no lights. I don't know if there's lights. I don't see any when you zoom in, so I'm pretty sure there's no lights on the highway.
I just mean like a car. Like you could tell easily if somebody was coming at night. Like,
yeah, you could see.
way open.
You could. I've been down there at night. You could see just headlights. That's all you see. There's no lights. There's no houses. There's houses in Oak Beach, but when you're on the highway, you can't really see the houses. So it's dark. That's why Shannon Gilbert, when she was heading back towards the bridge, she was probably trying to run that way, which that bridge is pretty long. I wish we could measure it and see what the distance is, but I would say it's a good, I don't
think
know.
I mapped out what, like, apparently, like, this green line is what Shannon Gilbert, her route, like this, and then didn't she run to a house
Yeah.
or something? Then they found personal items out in this marshy area.
Oh, wow, look at that.
And then she was found dead right there, really close to the road there.
That's a long stretch. Oh, let me explain something else about the road. Could you zoom back in over there where Shannon was found?
Uh-huh.
All right, so it's so deceiving when you look in above head because there's also dunes. Like, so if you're going on the road, right, and you're driving east, so in the direction to the right, what we're looking at,
Yeah.
there's dunes, and then it goes over. It's really hard to kind of tell though, and there's a lot of like tall grass. It looks deceiving here, but there's tall grass. I don't know if there's dunes on that side. I'm pretty sure.
It's weird. This Street View hasn't worked for a while. I mean, it works every once in a while, but I'm not sure.
I thought for a while. I remember when I looked at this years ago. They had this like blurred out. It was weird. Wow, but you got. How do you put those little marks there? How do you like the pins?
Look at that. That time it had Google Earth, it had Street View, and then it left.
Oh, that's so
All those
weird.
pins. Well, there's little pins. Well, you have a different. You're not using Google Earth. You're using.
Oh, I'm using. Okay, I'm just going on maps. Yeah, there's a. Okay, all right, I gotcha.
They give you pins on Google Earth, and I have this really I make a folder and store all the pins in it, and then
That's
you can
awesome.
hide pins if you want.
That's awesome though. I love I like Google Earth just looking, but I had it on my phone. I never tried it on the computer,
Well, it's
but
been pretty amazing. Like, there's some just incredible. How far is that right there? That's about a quarter mile ish,
wow.
where she kind of dropped her items and then was found. 0.21, a fifth, really.
Wow. That green area that the green line, so you're saying that that's her path from the house that she started at. She ran. Wow, she would have ran into the other direction. She could have possibly found somebody. I don't know. That whole thing is so weird, her story. I don't think I'll ever understand. And I wonder what made the police look that way. If you think about it, because now the bodies were found in the other direction.
Well, they could have just been like they knew that she was there, so they went back way down here and just started walking along, thinking maybe she was trying to walk out.
But all right, when you drive, see, here's the other thing. It looks deceiving. When you drive on this road, Oak Beach is a pretty good stretch from where these people were found. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple of miles. It's not. It looks closer on the map than it actually is in person. I remember driving out there because I used to go to this beach called Cedar Beach, which I believe is between Oak Beach and what do you call it? Gilgo. And it's a pretty good stretch. It doesn't look it on the map, but it's decent amount of space. So if you go a little bit in the other direction, this is back towards the bridge.
Yeah, I'm just.
My thought is that she was running towards the bridge because it was probably the only light that she saw, and there's no way off this island. You can't get off of it. You have to go back across the bridge unless you have a boat.
Maybe she did just get stuck and died, and just by pure chance of them looking for her, they found all those other bodies.
Right. That's what I mean, the police seem to think that, and they seem to be pretty set on that. But again, they don't know what her real cause of death was because her body was so badly decayed. It was in water. That area where she was found, that's the marshy area. Somebody was talking about that earlier. It was,
Yeah.
the water kind of goes up and down over there depending on what kind of.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: if she wasn't a prostitute or whatever, they would have looked for her a lot sooner. See, this is
Oh,
why
yeah.
this whole scenario here is exactly why serial killers love prostitutes and
Mm-hmm.
people like that because look at what happened with Shannon Gilbert.
Right.
She goes missing, and they didn't even start looking for her for like 6 months or something.
Right. Because
And it
she
was
went.
ridiculous.
Didn't she go missing? I believe it was May of
Yeah.
that year, and then they didn't start looking until December, which is crazy. Because again, if it was a rich person's daughter, or whatever, they would have been looking immediately. I mean, there's other women who have gone missing on, Long Island, and there's a lot of, I believe, corruption with the Suffolk County Police, but they
Well,
don't.
they did get rid of that one guy, right? I don't even know,
Burke, yeah.
but because of stuff related to this, right?
No, he actually was. He was the police chief. He ended up beating up a witness in a case. Okay, this
Uh-huh.
guy. I don't know if the guy broke into his car. There was it's some crazy
Yeah,
story, but
and
he ended up beating up some witness in a case, and that's why he ended up going to where he stole something, or I don't remember exactly what happened. I read the article a long time ago, but he took evidence or something, and then he beat up this guy, that was a witness in a case, and then that was it. Oh, Spota was just convicted. That's interesting. He was the other guy who came in after him. So interesting. They were all part of that. I'm like, the word regime is in my head, but that's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? They were all together. They all worked together.
you and
So
you ever, Laura was talking about, perplexed about it. She came onto my show and was like saying it's the pagans and all that. I mean, you guys should do a show.
no, what?
Well, she thinks it's like the pagans.
No,
the
I
bikers.
don't think any of that. I don't see people think too much into it. And if you go on Web Sleuth, they're so set on this Burke guy on that. And it just drives me nuts. And the doctor I feel like the police, did their due diligence and investigated these people. I mean, I don't think that they, just said, all right, oh, you weren't involved. Okay, great. And walked away. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure these people were thoroughly investigated. They just said in the chat, just to let you know, hold on, let me just scroll back up here. Now I just lost it. Something with the sex thing. I remember that. Somebody tried to take stuff from his car, some type of sex, I don't know, things, and he beat the shit out of them. That's what happened.
Yeah, I thought there was some other stuff.
There was a prostitute that came out.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Her name was Leanne something, and she said that he was at this party, and they were all, there were strippers and whatever hookers there, and all sorts of crazy stuff going on, which I wouldn't doubt. He was a crooked cop, but I don't think he's a serial killer. Then there was also this guy, Bissett, Jimmy Bissett. So now this guy owns the aquarium that's out east, and then he owns he owns a landscaping supply company. It's huge company. Him and I think a brother, he hung himself, and the reason people think that he's a suspect or whatever in their minds is because he hung himself, I believe, around the time that this came out or something like that. And so they thought maybe he was killing himself because of this, but that's all rumors. I don't think it was anybody. And now seeing this belt, I really think it was a regular blue collar guy who maybe had a construction belt. Like, why would you write your initials on a
But here's
belt?
the other thing too is I don't even know if the belt. Nobody is going to know if the belt is actually the killer's. Either.
Right.
He could have got it from one of his victims. He could have grabbed it out of. I went to Goodwill.
That's what I said.
Not a
Yeah.
belt. It's just absolutely. It just seems like a total.
It might not even be a belt. What if it's a strap from like a bag? You know what I'm saying? Like it might not even.
Think it's a belt, right?
I mean, they said belt, but they didn't give much detail in that. Unfortunately, they didn't give much detail on that press conference. So
well, if they have the belt and it's got buckles and all that shit,
right.
what they should do is take a picture of the whole belt, but they're not going to because they don't want to give you the waist size because then everybody go, oh my God, look at the guy. I know a guy has the 32.
Yeah, right.
You know how people do that, right? So,
Yeah.
but what they could do is show you what side the buckle was on, and then if you take the percentage, I mean, what is it, like 80% of the people are right-handed?
Right,
so
right.
The buckle would be on the left side, and then you might be able to make a better guess at what the initials really are.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
Because then it would be, then you'd have it upside, you'd have it correctly oriented, then you'd say, okay, that's more likely to be an MW, whatever the hell the letter.
Right. An MW or now I feel like this is the Jodi Arias foot picture all over again. Remember when like people first saw it, they didn't know what they were looking at because it's kind of like once you see it, you can't unsee it. But I remember when I first saw it, I was like, what is this? You know, it was kind of pixelated and hard to look at. This one is it's kind of like the same thing because it's like, could you explain a little bit of what's going on here? Like, is that paint or did you guys make it white just to highlight it? You know what I'm saying? Like they used the word embossed, but to me, embossed means that it's either like stamped in or you know, out, like popped out from the surface.
Looked sort of painted on there. You know?
Yeah, it looks like a paint marker to me. So I'm like, I don't know why that woman said embossed. I don't know if she meant that or maybe they just highlighted it on a computer. I'm confused about that. They didn't make that very clear. So somebody might be thinking, oh well, I saw one that was whatever. I don't know who's gonna remember belt initials.
It almost feels like it's just something to appease people so that we can just shut the hell up while they do the genealogy. I haven't been looking into it myself. I mean, I'm not. This isn't one of the cases that every single day I'm trying to figure out something.
You're not regularly like checking the. I haven't checked in a long time because there just hasn't been anything about it, and there every once in a while, every couple of years, they'll give a little something in our local newspaper about it, but there hasn't been anything. And I don't know if you were in here before, but next week this Netflix documentary is dropping, and I just kind of find the timing a little bit strange that it's like, here's some initials on a belt.
Yeah.
And they seem to do that because years ago there was also there was a series on I think it was Bravo, and it was called The Killing Season, and it was a couple of different episodes. It was like a mini series.
It was like 5 or 6.
And they did the same thing. They kind of dropped, but most of the time it's nothing. It's not anything important. Now, the police were court ordered to release the 911 call from Shannon Gilbert. They said this today in the press conference. They appealed it, and I don't know. We got to wait and see because they were court ordered to release it. They appealed it, so now we're waiting for the Court of Appeals to make that decision.
And that's the call she made, right? Didn't she? And that was the one that she made, right?
Right, yeah. She was on the phone with them for 20 minutes, so...
Yeah, there's another story very similar to that that's out there.
Really?
Yeah, this lady, she just went... It's the craziest thing in the world because Google Earth went down this road that you'd have to almost be stoned as the Google Earth driver to actually have gone down this road. But this is just out in the middle of nowhere, dirt road, and they drive down there, but apparently there was a girl that was it was like a 27-minute 911 call.
Right.
And they never found her. Like she was literally talking to him. They found a shoe and different things. And
wow.
That was kind of recently, like in the last 2 years. So
I just learned this from a incident that happened. 911 doesn't. So I've been reading up on how 911 calls work.
Yeah,
right?
Jules said it's Lauren. Yeah, Lauren Thompson. She's always the one that remembers the names. I cover so many cases that the names don't pop in my head.
That sounds from Lauren Calvin. Is it Calvin or Calvin?
Lauren Thompson's really what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, but 911, like people were wondering, like, how come 911 can't find you all the time? Because but your Uber can. They can find you through the GPS in your phone. The 911 system in most areas of the country is so outdated that they don't use GPS to find you. They actually ping your phone still, and that's how they find people. So that's pretty interesting.
In that Lauren Thompson one, they literally have all of the like GPS coordinates of where her phone pinged while she was in that wooded area.
Right.
She just disappeared. Her car was it's just really weird. Yeah, I saying, "Hey, somebody's following me," but they all thought she was like drunk or something. Or,
And
it's just weird. Yeah.
they never found her.
No, they haven't found it.
Wow,
She's just
that's interesting.
missing.
If you guys could just, I think Tiffany did, but just put Gray's link in the chat so that
No, it's
people
like
could check his channel out. No. I always do if somebody's up here. I think she did already, but I'm just making sure. But yeah, wow, that's interesting. I don't know. This case has been haunting me for years because it's kind of scary living here and knowing that this guy is, still out. I mean, I know he goes after prostitutes, but what if he changes one day? What if he's, goes back into getting the urge to kill and finds a different type of victim? It's just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the
scary.
thing is, prostitutes are. I mean, it's just incredible because I do all these cold cases. I just pick a state and then pick cold cases, and you always see these women that are just, 1982, thrown to the side of the road, nude, right by a truck stop off of, it's just crazy.
It is.
And nobody knows who they are half the time. I mean, we have cases where they identify the killer.
Right.
But the bodies that they found, they still don't know who those people are. Isn't that wild?
That's weird. Yeah, imagine that could happen in this situation. I mean, that Asian male, they found, and see, this is what annoys me, and they don't put this on the website. Maybe they're still working on it. I'll give them that. But I was showing that website before, and there's, first of all, Jessica Taylor, they do have a picture of her. I don't know why her picture isn't on that website. That's very bizarre to me. There's also, they have a tattoo of this Peaches person. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know, I forget who that tattoo belonged with. And then I believe it was her too. She had a tattoo, or one of the, oh, no. I'm sorry. There was jewelry found from the infant and the mother.
And they match. See, that's the one that really bugs me the most. It's how come there isn't somebody out there.
Right. A kid.
That say, oh, wow, my daughter, my sister had a child, and I remember that I haven't seen them for a long time. And by God, they had that look like that, right?
I it's crazy, and I would have to assume that maybe this is something that I don't think a lot of people realize about this case. All these girls, none of them are actually from Long Island. The only one that actually lived on Long Island was Megan Waterman. She lived in Babylon, which is about, I would say, almost due north of where she was found. If you go, I believe she was in West Babylon. So if we look at the map here,
some of them are just in like New York City, right?
Yeah. You see, some of them were in Jersey. I know Shannon Gilbert was from Jersey. One of them was in the Bronx. I believe it was the one who the sister called Bartholomew, I believe. So yeah, great. If you go, you see where it says Babylon. I believe if you go a little bit north of that, and a little west, so to the left, West Babylon. You see that? That's where Waterman lived, in that area. She was from there, but she was the only one who actually, I'm sorry, Amber Costello. Yeah, she lived on Long Island. Did I say that Megan Waterman? I meant Amber Costello. I got them mixed up. But the rest of them weren't from around here. I believe one was from upstate. Shannon Gilbert was from Jersey, even though I don't know if she's necessarily from the tape, involved with this case. And then you have, I think it was Maureen or one of them that was in the Bronx. So it's pretty interesting that whoever this was, they called in this
ground, just a dumping ground, really.
Right. Yeah. And now the Asian guy, I believe, was, possibly dressed up as a female, because they did find him in women's clothes. Didn't they say that?
Yeah, it was like a transvestite.
Right. He was found in women's clothes. So
I think he was like that. I think he was just somebody that was a prostitute that was a man. And then I don't know if that's why he was killed, but because he was, whoever it was.
No. I think when they found him, they did find women's clothing.
No, that's what I mean. I
okay.
I think he was dressed like that as a prostitute.
Right. And
he was selling himself as a woman to guys, and then maybe this guy actually found, the killer found out, and killed him, or it was just killed and then. Who knows if he even noticed.
Right. The mom and the baby thing, though, that does bother me, because you would think there's a grandparent somewhere or an aunt somewhere, or, and you would think that they would have checked missing person databases, at least in the tri-state area, which would be Connecticut, Jersey, and, New York. But I don't know that one, but that has always baffled me because I'm like, how does somebody not notice a baby going missing? Forget the woman, a baby. The most people, and especially in this situation, if let's just say the mother was a, prostitute, somebody has to watch the kid, so there's no way that this mother kept this kid to herself all the time. Maybe she brought, I don't know, maybe she brought
Was
it
the
with
other body found at the same time, the mother, though, that's right next part of the body?
It was part, yeah, it was a little part
So
of it.
part of her body and then the entire baby. What a psycho. I mean,
Yeah, right.
like you kill the child and then you kill the mother, and then not only did you kill the mother, you only left part of her body there, and then the rest of it you put somewhere else.
Ugh, it's disgusting. Whoever this person is, they're sick because again, if they put, remains in a garbage pail in Davis Park, which is, all the way out east, I mean, that suggests that they have a boat to me. I could be wrong.
Well, one
Uh,
thing I got to say is New York's got to wake up because I've been
mm,
watching cases. They're not into the DNA genealogy stuff. They're sort of like, well, you have to have an official. I mean, it was really, I've seen like 3 press conferences. So now it sounds like they're starting to do it.
oh,
This case here should have been the first out of the gate where they went and identified all the, tried to identify
the
all the
bodies.
unknowns, then go through all of the pieces of evidence, submit it to the FBI, and have them look for DNA and all that the evidence that's been
Right,
retrieved, and see if you can find the killer's DNA, something that matches different crime scenes. So you look
right.
at this one, and if there's an overlap of DNA from the crime scenes that aren't related to the individual themselves, then you've got a match. Then you know that you've got DNA from the killer, unless some idiot tech used bare hands and grabbed,
Right.
both of them. But yeah,
I want to know how. I wonder. Well, this is an interesting question, and I don't remember off the top of my head, but like, how much DNA do you think was on these bodies when they found them because they were badly decayed.
years,
They were
like
skeletal.
like 10
So,
years old, right? Like 20 years old, even. Some, right?
well, the one of them was from '96. So, yeah, almost. It was, but even the girls, let's just say the 4 that were originally found. I mean, I wonder how much DNA was even, still remaining because this isn't a very like, salt water, and salt water kills things around there. I mean, it eats away at things. And then plus just weather over the year. New York has a lot of pretty
Yeah.
extreme weather. We get storms, we get snow, we get, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
but
So,
they were, wrapped in things, and
right,
what they should really be checking is the one that was found in that other Manorville, because it was
right.
a bucket, or what was it? It sealed somehow. So maybe check that, and then
Hmm. The
just
girl,
they've got a ton of stuff though. I mean, they've got a ton of evidence.
what kills me
And
is that there has to be some. Well, this person probably used a burner phone. I mean, they called the sister of
yeah,
one of the girls, right? And I think they have recordings of that because he called. I think the father spoke to him, not the it's a stepfather, but and then the sister. So I believe they recorded. Like, why aren't they releasing at least a little clip of this guy's voice? It's just it's strange. um I see somebody. Did you hear of the Bitteroff case, Gray? That was connected with this. They thought, I don't know, this guy that lived out in Manorville, he killed 2 prostitutes back in like the early 90s and left their bodies in that wooded area where some of these bodies were found, right?
hmm
And what ended up happening was that his brother got arrested and had to submit DNA because for what he was a violent offender. You have to submit DNA. That's a law, part of the law. So they found when they got the DNA, and I guess they ran it through the database, they realized that uh, it matched some DNA that was found at that crime scene, but from 20 years ago, but it wasn't exact. And so they started to follow his brother. They knew it had to be a relative of this guy, and so they started to follow. I think either he had 2 brothers or brother and sister. They started to follow them. And then the brother ended up, I think he like threw a cigarette out his window one day or something, and they picked up the cigarette butt, did the DNA testing, and it was a perfect match. So then they had him in, interrogated him, and he ended up, it was him. So these two bodies that were found, they were posed in a very specific way when they were found. But this guy was 20 years living a totally normal life. He had this beautiful house in Manorville.
Well, he appeared normal. Appeared normal.
He appeared normal, right? The neighbors had things that, nothing but nice things to say about him. Two sons, he was a good dad. And
I thought they all do. They all look
Yep.
normal, like Dennis Radar,
Yeah, I was just
He
thinking of
looks
him.
like a total doofus computer guy.
Yep.
He turns out like he's just an absolute psycho.
Yeah, but it's like it's crazy because they were saying after he was convicted or around the time he was convicted that I think Dateline picked this up. One of them, 48 Hours of Dateline. It should be on sometime in the future, but they were saying that he could be connected with some of the bodies from the Long Island serial killer case. And Chris, oh okay. And I think that's pretty interesting because I'm like, he could be
Is that what
connected.
your
Maybe,
husband's name is, Chris?
yeah.
That's my wife's name is Chris.
Oh, that's so weird.
She's about to come home in about 2 seconds.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's gonna be weird.
I'll go. Oh, all right. I was like, go ahead if you have to go. I just
Well, I do have to leave in about a minute.
all right, but yeah, it's crazy because this guy might be connected. I think that Jessica Taylor, that one body that was found half out in Manorville and half here, maybe she was killed by this guy because they did say that they do think that he had more victims, this guy, and they're looking into it. So who knows? But he's
Well, they have
already
his
convicted.
DNA, so if they find his DNA anywhere along that Gilgo Beach stretch,
Yep.
well, that's going to mean that he did it.
Right.
Some of them, anyways.
Right.
But
So,
anyways, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave. But
all right, thanks, Gray. Appreciate
you got
it.
the maps, and we went over them. Hopefully,
Yep.
I mean, I could. Let's see. I don't know if how do I send you this? But there is a Google Earth that you can get. That's just like
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. That's awesome.
Look at that golf course right there by the parking area. I just noticed.
Oh yeah, I think there's like a little mini one. You're right. Yeah.
Part
Pretty
3.
cool.
But all right. Well,
All right, Gray.
it was fun. Had a good time.
Thanks for your help. Yeah, thanks. Everybody go check Gray's channel out too. I know you probably have 10,000 more subscribers than me, but check his channel out if you don't know it. All right, Gray. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks.
All right, bye. That was cool, Gray Hughes. Gray's got all the stuff. He's got all the good stuff. I happened to find his video because I got really into this case a couple of years ago, and I was like really, really into like all the information. So I watched like every video you can on YouTube because there is interviews from the police, the former police chief and stuff like that on here. You just gotta search for him. Field 2, Field 1, Neek, Field 1. So it's pretty interesting. I mean, oh, I was gonna say, I forgot before Gray he came off here, got off here, but I don't think earlier today I was thinking maybe they got DNA from this belt, but I don't know how much DNA would have been preserved on this belt because you got to think I don't know whose body it was found near, but at the most it could be a 4-year stretch. You know what I'm saying? That belt was there for 4 or 5 years before it was found. How much DNA is going to be preserved on that belt at that point in time? And as far as the genealogy thing, which was mentioned, oops, sorry, Tiffany, but hey, I'll keep it up there. She's saying thank you to Gray. Look how pretty Tiffany is. She's so pretty. What do you call it? I never get to see your picture big. It's always so tiny on my phone. She's so pretty. Anyway, the genealogy, Gray pointed this out to me earlier because when I emailed him to tell him that they were having this press conference, I think the genealogy is probably being used to identify victims to see, if they have any of the older ones who haven't been identified, they could run them through these, genealogy databases because they caught people out there. So what was that guy? Was it the Golden State Killer? Was that it? That they caught, through these databases. So it's pretty interesting stuff. Anyway, anybody have any questions? I used to play in the woods oh my God, wait, hold on. Let me go down there. Hazley Manor when I was young. Wow. Interesting. The dump. Oh, that's interesting, Alexandra. That's an interesting thing. Maybe. 9 years and in my backyard. I used to drive by those woods. So that's by the LIE. I just wanted to see that because I was actually, when we were looking at that, it's a pretty far stretch for somebody to drive and take that chance. And if this, it's just crazy. It's just crazy to think the serial killer could be watching this right now. Like, it's just so insane. Um, but you don't know. You don't know if these guys have ever went back or they're following media stories on it now. It's just insane. I guess I took my. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get back to that Google Earth. Let me see if I can find what Gray has. Google Earth. Google. I didn't know they had Google Earth anymore because I knew they did away with the app, which I was so sad about. Google Earth. Ah. Oh, you got to download it. Okay. Or can you use it like this? I love Google Earth. Oh, it's so cool. Launch Earth. Let me see. Let's see if we could do this. I want to see if I could find Hazley Manor Road for you guys. Anyway, let me get back over there. So, Alexandra, you're from the area, huh? It's amazing. This story's been going on for so long, and these poor families are just not, God, just never got their answers. It's crazy. Let me go here. Search Google Earth. Let's see if we can find. No, I don't need the capital of France. Let me see if I could. All right, thank you. I know how to use it. Ready for takeoff. All right. Let's see. Ooh, this thing's cool. Now I know why Gray Hughes uses this. See, everybody's like, oh, he uses Google Maps. Nope, he uses Google Earth. All right, let me see if I can find this. Hazley Manor Road. I'm going to show you guys in a minute. Let me just see if I can get down there. There we go. There we go. All right, let's check this out. Ooh, this is so cool. Can we zoom in a little more there? Hold on. All right, I'm zooming in. Let me get you guys so you guys can see it. Screen share. Application window. Oh, crap. Hold on a second. I have to pull this off. Okay. Do. Where is it? Google Earth. There it is. Okay. Nice. All right. Now you guys can see it. So let's see. I didn't know how to present Gray so that his thing was. So they said that the body was found on the corner of this road and the expressway. So probably somewhere in this area right here is where the other bodies were found. That's interesting. Somebody left a comment. I wonder how far John Bitteroff's house is from that. That's interesting. We should see what his address is. But I want to go back to that. Hold on a second. Let me just take this screen sharing off because I want to go back to the. Hold on a second. That website because I wanted to show you guys just a little bit more. I just think it's weird. The website thing is weird to me. I don't know if I'm reading into it too much. I probably am. But there was just something weird about it to me. Like, it's like if you had all this time and you're really putting this website out there specifically for this case, why is there not that much detail on it? It's not like you didn't have time to make this website. I mean, this case is 9 years old already. And they're like, we're actively, investigating it. But are you really? Gilgo, hold on. Gilgo Beach. All right. News. Whoops, I forgot to put the news. Hold on a second. So weird. You can't type the actual website and it doesn't work. It's the most bizarre thing. Oh, come on. Gilgo News. I think that's it. No beach. Gilgo News. Okay. Ugh. What a pain in the ass. All right. So hold on. I want to share this with you guys. Good night, whoever. Oh, good night, NYC. Are you leaving or is somebody else leaving? Sorry, guys. The killings could have stopped, right? They could have moved. A lot of very interesting. Jennifer G. Yeah, good night. It's a very interesting story. I mean, even if you just. I wish there was a way you guys could get the that series because that was also really good. It was called The Killing Fields, I believe. I don't know if they sell it. I don't know if you could go on like Amazon or Prime Video and get it. I don't know. Let me go into screen share here. Application window. Gilgo News. Okay, I want to look at this just a little bit more. Hold on a second. All right, because we were looking at the people. So I don't think all the people are here. But look at, I wanted to just show you guys. Like, look at this. That's it. This is all the information. Crime scene photos. You know? Like, really? These bodies weren't that far off the road from what I remember. I mean, they were pretty much like, I mean, that right there, that stretch is probably about, I don't know, 10, 15 feet, if even. And then they were kind of right there in that bramble. That's what they always called it in the news. I don't know what you would call it. Thicket. Could you even click on these and see them? No. So what good is that? Anyway, but like they're like the remains of Maureen Brainerd Barnes were discovered in an area off Ocean Beach on December 13, 2010, and it says Brainerd Barnes was last seen in early June 2007 in New York City. Meanwhile, it's just crazy. Like, give more information than that. That's why I'm saying you got to read this book, because there's so much more information about what the girls were doing up until the point, you know, where, you know, they went missing. So let's see. Let's check out the other girls here. Whoops. Asian male. I know there was a tattoo on one girl. All right, look at this. No crime scene photos. They don't even, well, I guess that is a crime scene, technically. Ocean Parkway. So, oh, I'm sorry. She was from North Babylon. So, yeah, she was right there, though. That's where she went missing from. So she was the only one that actually resided on Long Island. Oops. Now, I believe it was this girl, Melissa Bartholomew, whose family was called. And she was from the Bronx, last seen in the Bronx. The other girl that they just said New York City, I think that was where she... No, that was Megan Waterman. Sorry. All right, never mind. And then it shows these crime scene photos. What is that? You can't even zoom into them. So what good are they? So you see how thick the bushes are, though, there in that, you know, picture that's as close as we could get. So she was designated. So she was the first. Oh, look at that. I didn't know that. She was the first body they discovered. Pretty girl. Think it was her that came here to be a hairdresser. She lied to her parents. She told them she was in school. She got hooked up with this guy that was doing, you know, this prostitution thing. And he kind of talked her into it. And then he became her pimp / boyfriend. So it's just crazy, this whole story. It's just how these girls ended up in the positions that they were in. And, you know, it's just unbelievable. All right, so this was Megan Waterman. Now she was at a Holiday Inn Express, which I've been in before. I know which one that is. And where was she from, though? I believe she was meeting the client there, and that's right. There was security cameras, but they conveniently didn't work that night when she was out in the left the building. So there's that. I don't understand these crime scene photos. All they are is like pictures at night. So maybe they discovered her at night, because this was like a huge search. This was going on for day and night for a while. It was pretty crazy. Dr. Shocker, unsubscribe. Unsubscribe again. Oh, okay. Yeah, you gotta hit the bell when a lot of people don't realize this, when you subscribe and you want to get the notifications, you have to hit the bell, and then it gives you two options. Yeah, Neek, she was, that other girl was staying in North Babylon. That was where she lived. But she wasn't from here. She was actually from, somewhere down south. So, does this girl not look like a prostitute to you guys? Like, she just looks like a normal chick. Like, it's just crazy. How do you end up? She's a year younger than me. It's just insane. Was she the one that was a hairdresser? I don't even remember. I know one of them came down to do hairdressing, and they were staying in the city, and it might have been her. I don't even remember. And then you got Shannon Gilbert. So they got a little more information on her, it looks like. Sad thing about her is her sister killed the mother because the sister was schizophrenic and she killed the mom, which is crazy. Dr. Schachter, who's the prettiest one out of the bunch? Who do you think? I sent you a link to the map where they pinned. Oh, all right, Tiffany, thanks. I'm gonna have to go log into my email. Hold on a second. We don't want to show that. Let me just go. Bitteroff's house. Let's see. I don't think he's I don't think he's responsible for these women, but he could have been. I think if any of these victims were also victims of him, it would have to be that Jessica Taylor, because she was also found out in Manorville. And I'm trying to think who else. Maybe that other person. I don't know. It seemed like he was young. He did his killing spree when he was a young guy. So let me just get to my. I just want to make sure you guys can't see my email. Sorry. Okay. You guys, I hope, could still just see the map. Damn, I'm. If I became a crime channel ever, I would definitely be getting myself another monitor because this is a pain in the ass. It really is. All right, now I can't even find the friggin' YouTube thing. Hold on, let me just make this. All right, you guys could still see that. That works for me. Okay, Gmail. Pull it out here. Thank you. Tiffany, wait, how'd you send it to me? I'm assuming you emailed it. I don't even know if that's what you did. Did you text me? Oh, it was a text. All right, let me look at my phone. I was just thinking, I'm like, wait, why would you email me? The house is pinned. Oh, okay. Cool. Let me see if I can find that website. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember this website. That's so funny. I just want this case, solved. It's so frustrating. I want to know who it is. I want to watch the Dateline episode. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let me switch windows here for you guys for a second. Stop sharing. All right. God, they got to make this easier, to go between the screen share windows. It's kind of annoying. Here he is. John Bitteroff. I feel so bad. This guy, remember when this case happened? He had, he had two young kids. I think his son was in high school. And his son, has the same name as him. So when I typed his name into Google, I ended up finding the son's Twitter or Facebook or whatever it was at the time. I forgot. This was a couple of years ago. And he would write all these posts, and so I started following him, and he was going through it, man. This poor kid going through it. I mean, he didn't want to believe that his dad was capable of this, and it was just so sad. It's so sad. And they had such a nice life, these kids. He had quads and dirt bikes, and just this beautiful house out in this really nice area. Manorville's a beautiful area. So it's probably one of the last towns that's kind of built up, and then after that, it starts turning into farmy kind of land. A lot of grape wineries out there. So out east. All right, let me see if I can find where the map is. Sorry, because I can't open it on here. Click here to read the full blog post. Let's see that. Tiffany, could you tell me where that is in this? Oh, did you guys hear my husband coughing? That was loud. Hold on a second. Blog post. Hold on. I'm gonna wait for her to answer because I don't know where this is and I don't want to bore you guys to death. Oh yeah, Sarah Smiles. This one's, it's so deep. It's so there's so many, you know what it is? There's so many different people and there's so many different stories. And the one girl, Amber Costello, the one that lives, the only one that lived on Long Island, her, she lived with this guy named Dave. Crap, why can't I remember this guy's name? Well, either way, he did a pretty in-depth interview, and I think they have an extended interview with him somewhere, and he talks about, you know, when she went missing, and whoever this guy was, he was able to convince these girls out of their safe zone. So I personally feel like he knew these girls, like when he killed them. I don't personally feel like it was the first time that he met these girls, because they trusted this guy. They all, you know, all these girls are prostitutes, and they have to have things in place to safeguard themselves when they're going to meet Johns, you know. So they have their phone, or some of them would have a guy follow them or come with them, or, you know what I'm saying, like a friend to watch over and make sure nothing happens to them. All of these women let their guards down with this guy, and they left their homes without their phones, without their purses, you know. So they're this I feel this guy built up some type of rapport with them before he killed them, which is even more sick if you think about it. You know, it's very interesting, to say the least. Now, he could have just went into hibernation, or whatever they call it, when serial killers just stop doing their thing for a little bit. It happens. BTK did it. That's a great example. Scroll back up and look at the map under his photo. Hold on. I don't see a map under his photo. I'm not seeing that. This is, hold on. Do you want me to, let me go back. Maybe we can find it back. Hold on. Are you talking about on this page? Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, cool. So this is, oh, there you go. So there's his, I believe he was convicted with this Rita Tangretti and Colleen McName, and then they believe that this Sandra woman was an additional victim of his. So, okay, wow, this is interesting. Let me see if I could open this. Does this open into anything? Could you guys see this? I hope so. So his house, oh, she should have marked it like Gray did. I don't know what these houses are. Hold on a second. It's like house, house, house. What are all these dots? Oh, press play. Does this move? Ooh. What's going on here? Okay. Let's see what this is. Hello. What happened? Oh, okay. This is the actual map itself, but I don't know what's what. I'm wondering if that's his house right there. Maybe. Okay. I remember they showed his house on the news, so not 100% sure. Now, what's this? I don't know what this is. William Floyd Estate. Not sure what that is, but I would assume one of these has to be his house. I know that's that Hazley Manor Road, I assume, where that dot is, where one of the bodies were found. I don't know why this is here. It's hard to say. Oh, I don't... Are you guys seeing this map? Hold on, let me just make sure you guys can see it. I think so, yeah. All right. I don't know what this is. This is so weird. 495. What is this? This isn't Manorville, so that can't be his house because, yeah, that's in like Mastic. So, and then I don't know what these dots are, but I would assume his house is right there because that's Manorville. And so that body, I believe one of the bodies was found there. And then I'm going to assume that these two blue things at the top were the other two bodies that were his actual victims. So this one's probably that girl that's tied in with the serial killer case, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what these other things are, but, you know, I guess he's pretty close to his home. But see, this is where he lived now. Maybe that other one down here is an old apartment or something, because I don't think he was single, and I don't think he lived in this house. This is his family's house, you know? So I'm pretty sure. Let me just look at this because I think I would recognize it. Yeah, that's the house. Yep, that's it. That's his house. It was a really nice house with a huge piece of property. Um, so it's so sad. Well, his life's ruined. Don't go killing prostitutes and you won't have to worry about it. All right. So yeah, thanks Tiffany for finding that for me. I want to go back to the website. Now I can't find it. Hold on. That you sent me. Good Lord. This is getting confusing. Oh, thank you, Jared Dorn. Thank you. Appreciate that. What the hell just happened? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm like all over the place. Am I still okay? All right. So yeah, I wonder what this map entails. I guess they do. They must, if you look at the map on here, it looks like they have all the bodies marked off down here where the bodies are found. When was this article written? I wonder. Interesting. So he definitely could be tied in with some of these women that went missing. I mean, I'm not going to go through this whole article. I could share it in the chat. There's Jessica Taylor. That's the one who on the police website, she's missing. Oh, this gives a lot more information. They talk about cherries. There was somebody found with a cherries tattoo or something. These are all different. This is where things get too convoluted for me, and that's why I kind of veered away from web sleuths, because like they're like every body found on Long Island, you know, is this guy's victims, and I don't believe that. You know, I don't think that this guy was leaving bodies all over the place. You know, it's like a woman's body washed up here and there, and you know, it might not be related. So I could see this person had probably been part of that, because there's a lot of extra people here. So Peaches, this person was, yeah, like this Peaches person, Jane Doe number 3, is discovered in Hempstead Lake Park. That's not even like, nobody knows if this is this one? Oh wait, because of the heart-shaped peach tattoo. Additional remains were discovered in 2011. Oh, okay. This is the mother of the baby, I assume, right here. That drawing. Interesting. Like, why doesn't the police's website have this much detail, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I alone here? I don't think this guy's responsible for every murder. See, yeah, this one, Tanya Rush, dismembered body found on the Southern State Parkway in Belmore. Like, I don't think that's related, you know? I mean, I don't think it's related. First of all, you know, she doesn't fit the MO. She's black, and the rest of the girls are obviously white, and, you know, why would he all of a sudden change that? He's obviously attracted to white women. I mean, these women don't look that similar, but he kind of has a type in a sense. So I don't know. You know, that's where people are pulling in too many different people that were missing on Long Island, because, you know, unfortunately, there's a lot more people probably missing than we'd like to think. If Mega Master, we need to raise hell. Where we go? Oh, no, yeah, that would be horrible. So you guys could check these out. I'll put them in the description below, some of these websites. This way you guys could check them out. But I'm going to go back to the police website for a minute. Ooh, what just happened? Here's StreamYards. Oh my god, this is such a pain in the butt. I don't know how these crime people do this shit. Hold on. It's such a pain in the ass. Come on. Alright. Application window. Let's go back to the Gilgo site here for a second. Oops, I'm on the wrong one. Where's the one that I'm looking at here? This case is just very interesting. I can't wait till it's solved, because we'll get all the details about it. So, all right. So we just looked at the investigations. This is all about these things, but honestly, the victims. But if you guys are honestly looking for information about the victims, there is way better information than what's on here. out there. As you can see, I'll put a link for that blog. So now here when they show the H and the M or the W and the H, they look different. They're a little less skewed than the pictures that they released today. They looked a little bit wider for some reason. I don't know why that is. And again, oh, that's why pop-ups are blocked. So we can open these. Great. Hold on a second. We could have opened those crime scene photos. So there you go. That's a close-up of the new evidence that they released today. Is that grass or is it like cracks in the belt? It's so hard to tell. That looks like a tool belt to me. Like who has a belt that's all speckled? And you see that red? I wonder if there's blood on it. There's a little bit of red up there. Interesting. What do you guys think of as far as the H and the M and the W go? Do you guys have an opinion about that? Like which way does this go? Garrett Griggs, am I Italian? Kind of, a little bit, half Italian. Pretty interesting. Let's see. Ooh, now I want to go back and look at the crime scene photos. I don't know. That looks like weird as a W. Because I would think if it was a W, you'd make the ends flat. I don't know. That doesn't look like it should be a W. It looks like it was meant to be an M to me. Interesting. All right, let's see what else they got. Oh, let's go back to these things. I didn't know my pop-up blocker was blocking the window. Let's look at these crime scene photos. Wow, they show us absolutely nothing. There's nothing there. Oh, that's it. You could zoom in a little bit. What's this? I wonder what these things are on the floor. Probably just garbage. So that area of this bush, I don't know. He couldn't have gone too far into there, but I guess in this, you see where it's darker and then there's this little lighter section. Maybe that's where the bodies were. Maybe he knocked, down a little bit. Who knows? But he obviously picked this site out and used it quite often. So, oh, these must have been taken before they made the marks in the roads. This must be like when they were found. I don't know. Let me see. Where was the ones that were at night? I want to go back and look at those. The H is too exaggerated. Let me see. I think HM. I do too. I'm totally HM all the way. HM all the way. I just look at the crossbar on the H and I feel like it would either be, if it's a WH, it's too low down. It looks weird. Who would cross it low down? Wouldn't you always cross it higher up or like right in the middle? I don't know. That's what I would think. Let me see Melissa Barthelme's. What is this? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, I see a beer can. You guys see that? Let me see if I can zoom in. It looks like a Budweiser can. Right? That's interesting. This is a horrible picture. What is that though? What are they taking a picture of? Is that where her body was? What's that? Oh, that looks like it must be part of the branch or something. These are kind of weird pictures. Like, I'm trying to understand what we're looking. I know it's just bushes, but I guess that's where the bodies were. I wonder why that beer can is still there. Interesting. This is interesting. Alright, let's close that one. I hope you guys are seeing this as I'm doing this. I can't see what I'm doing, so it's kind of hard. Let's see this one. Alright, yeah, you guys could see it. So this is basically a cone. Look how dark it is at night, though. If these lights weren't on, I mean, you guys see how dark that background is? It's like there's no lights. God, I wouldn't even want to be out there alone. Oh, it's so creepy. Think of how sick you have to be out there in the pitch black dark by yourself, putting a body out on the side of the road. It's insane. Insane. And how did he get through there? He must have just, like, I don't know, heaved them. It's crazy. Mega Mobster, see my comment. Sorry, Meme, I see that you tagged me, but I don't see. Oh, also could be an O in the middle of what? An O. I don't know of what though. And anyone like to contact email? Oh, thank you. Thanks, Tiffany Marie. Did they ever? No, Jewel. They never released those because the police department appealed it. So they're still waiting to hear. They're trying to protect the investigation, but I think at this point in time they need to start letting the public help because a lot of crimes get solved with the public's help. So, so here's another crime scene photo. See that little one? The evidence marker? I wonder what that's pointing to. What was there? Interesting. This is the most I've ever seen. They never released these crime scene photos before, but they're not showing much. That's the only... Oops. They're not, they're not really showing much. Let's see Asian male. Do they have any crime scene photos? Oh, look at that. That's all they have. I don't understand. Like, they're just taking pictures of the grass. Who gives a shit? You could see he was in a kind of different area, though. I guess where they dug this grass out, there was, that's where he was. Somewhere around there. Imagine having to search this. Oh, you're saying HMHOM? That's interesting. Interesting. Mimi, interesting. You're saying if you put them together, they would make like an O. I know what you're saying. How do I hear that? The initials, yeah. Kind of looks like a woman drew that. I don't know. Do you think a man would draw initials like that? I guess they could if they wanted to. Oh, what the hell happened? I lost the site. Oh, no. Here it is. So let's see. Let's go back to these girls because I don't think there's much. Like, look at that. You guys, this picture actually really illustrates it well. You could just see the range of where the light or flash or whatever they're using, but then look in the back how black dark it is. I mean, there is not a light in sight in this area. It's scary. This is not the type of place I would want to be by myself at night with a dead body, especially. Your chat is always so peaceful. Oh, yeah, Jewel Blessings. I don't know why people do that with the 9 million mods. It's ridiculous. I think people feel bad because they're like, oh, you're my friend, so I have to give you a wrench. But you shouldn't really do that. You don't want to have too many mods on your channel. I never wanted mods. But I guess you kind of do need them. All right, so you guys see how dark it is? It's so scary. Oh, it's just giving me the creeps right now. Freaking loser. Why would you do this? Like, really? Oops, what did I just do? I hope they catch him. I just hate knowing that a piece of shit like that is out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate knowing that this bastard got away with this shit right now or thinks he did. There's nothing for her for some reason. That's interesting. New pictures. So... that's the most I've seen, to be honest with you guys. The toddler, no pictures. Where's the picture of the jewelry? They released that. That should be on here. I'm disappointed in this website as somebody who followed the case. I feel like there's tons of more information that's out in the public that could be on here. So that's why I'm saying I don't understand the point of this website because they give very little information and it's just... the Gilgo News website has been created to disseminate information related to the Suffolk County Police Department Homicide Squad's criminal investigation into the found human remains at Gilgo and Oak Beach. Also included as part of the investigation are the found remains recovered in the Moriches and Manorville. Who wrote this? Their English is terrible. This website in Moriches. What is he talking about, Moriches? Anyway, this website will feature scene photos and periodic updates, like every 9 years, with information as it becomes available and deemed appropriate for release. This is a developing site. but there are no current plans for a comment section or blog post. So in other words, don't ask us because we don't want it. We don't give a shit what you have to say. Which, all right, and so you could contact there in case anybody knows anything. But that's it. That's the whole thing. So, pretty interesting stuff. I don't know. We'll see what happens with this. It could be something. It could be nothing. But it's interesting either way. Hector Martinez. Interesting. Dr. Schachter, you seem like you know something. William Harrison. It could be a whole bunch of things. It could be Henry Martin. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different names. So, clear the screen of my... Wait, clear the screen of my head. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, crap. Sorry. I had that up. I didn't even realize that that would still be up there. Hold on. All right. So that's pretty interesting, though. I mean, you guys, I'll put the link. Let me grab the link for that, and I'll put it in the chat, and then I'll try to put it in the description for anybody that's watching this on the replay. That's the website. Not that there's anything exciting, but in case you want to check up on it, you know, periodically. New York Times article, 6 p.m. tonight. Let me see that. Open link in new tab. Thanks, Tiffany Marie. I should have invited, you should have came up here if you, we could have chatted about this. Hold on. I don't know. My internet's not working. Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, you guys want to hear something pretty crazy? The other day, this is weird. The other day, I was leaving my son's hockey, and this guy, the DA, was there. I saw him. And my husband's like, oh, he goes, Liana, that's the DA. And I'm like, I turn around, I go, yeah, I recognize that guy. Well, he wasn't the DA. He just became the DA. Hold on, I'll show you guys. He just became the DA recently. So it was pretty weird. I was like, oh my God, because I've seen him on TV so many times. I felt like I was seeing like a celebrity. Shit. I've seen this guy because he was the old police commissioner. And so he had commented on the case. Is this guy right here to the right. I was like, oh my God, that's him. I remember him. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. And I was like, where have I seen him? I'm thinking, I know I've seen him maybe on TV. But yeah, that was him. Saw him the other day. What's this? Why does it have this stupid sign-in thing here? Hold on. Oh. No, why do I have to sign in on the New York Times? Just give me my damn thing. Oh, all right. For nearly a decade, let's see what this says. The gruesome discovery of 11 bodies over 2 years near a beach on Long Island has terrified residents and stumped investigators. Eventually, the police linked 4 bodies to one serial killer who they could not find. Years passed, and it remained a mystery. Then on Thursday... like all this time. Then on Thursday, investigators at a news conference showed a photograph of what they said was a significant piece of evidence collected at the initial stage of the investigation, a black leather belt embossed with a pair of letters about a ½ inch tall. Oh, wow. They're so tiny. Wow. Embossed. I don't think they're embossed, though. And a black leather belt. Okay. It looks brown, but hey, what do I know? That might be the inside. Investigators believe it spells out the initials WH or HM. We do believe that this item was handled by the suspect. I wonder if that means that they got DNA off of it. I don't know. I mean, how would it have DNA this long after? I don't know, but maybe it did. Could you guys see this good? All right. So, Geraldine Hart, the Suffolk County Police Commissioner, said at the news conference at Suffolk County Police Department headquarters. She declined to say whether the belt was used as a murder weapon. That's what I'm thinking. But, okay. Additionally, the police have created a new website, which we all just looked at, where the public can obtain information and leave tips about the case, Ms. Hart said. The announcement led reporters to ask, why now publicize a long-held piece of evidence? And Miss Hart said in part, "We have decided now to leverage social media." She had a very, she repeated the same freaking thing, the same thing over and over and over again when asked that question, because they kind of tried to ask it a few times. The new DA is a bulldog. Well, hopefully he is. We need Juan Martinez on down here. For years, the body is discovered near Gilgo Beach, which is on Long Island's South Shore, about 40 miles from Midtown Manhattan, shocked residents and defied explanation. The macabre drama began to unfold. The macabre, why did I say macabre? Drama began to unfold in May 2010 when Shanann. Oh my God! Every time I see the word Shannon now, I say Shanann. Thank you, Chris Watts. When Shannon Gilbert, a 24-year-old aspiring actress from Jersey City, New Jersey, who worked as a prostitute, was reported missing on Long Island. While searching for Miss Gilbert, the police discovered 4 other bodies in December of that year between Cedar Beach and Gilgo Beach on the north end of Jones Beach Island. Is that really what that island's called? I never knew that. Anyway, this prompted a wider police search, eventually leading to the discovery of more remains. Ultimately, 9 women, including Miss Gilbert, a man, and a toddler. So there's 11, and they don't even have all of them on the goddamn police site. Anyway, were discovered in the area. Investigators have said they believe a serial killer was responsible for several of those deaths. All of the women who had worked as prostitutes. All of them women who had worked as prostitutes. Says the police said on Thursday that they would not speculate on the number of suspects, nor would they limit their search to just one. See, I think it's at least 2. I personally think it's 2. I think the body parts that were found, because why would you, I mean, it is very messy to dismember a body, but why would you go from dismembering a body to just, hey, did he get lazy and just decide, you know what, I'm not going to dismember bodies and disperse them. Now I'm just going to throw entire bodies into the woods. I don't know. Maybe, maybe because he got away with it for so long. I don't know. Anyway, Miss Gilbert's remains were found in December 2011, but investigators have said they do not believe her death is linked to the serial killer. Miss Gilbert's family has disagreed with the assessment and has demanded the release of more evidence from the case, including 911 recordings, which they have not done. Ms. Hart, oh, she's not married. She looks like let's look at her. Do you want to marry her? She's had some work done. Her nose has been done, for sure. Looks like she's had maybe 1 or 2 facelifts. Just saying. Anyway, not that people with plastic surgery don't deserve to be married. I'm just saying. She don't look like the kind of woman that's easy to get along with. Anyway, release evidence. The conference that does not match the pattern of the Gilgo Beach homicides, but she had not ruled out a connection. The one thing they never really commented on, and I've always wondered, is that when that guy had Shannon Gilbert at his house, was it just him? I don't know why. I was always under the impression that it was him and then other friends there. So I wonder if, I don't know. I've always wondered if they, I'm picking her apart. I'm just kidding. I always wondered if maybe there was another person there, but I don't know. I don't know if there was. It could have just been him. I know there was a driver too, but hopefully she doesn't come across the street. No interview activity. I'm not going to get that deep into the Long Island serial killer case. Trust me. I'm going to be interviewing anybody. I just thought it was interesting. And it's just, the only reason I'm really talking about it is just because it's from, where I live. And it's a pretty well-known case. I mean, Shannon's body. No, it was found one piece, I believe, face up in a marshy area. So they think she could have drowned or, I don't know. They say natural causes, but I don't know what that really means. That could be a variety of things. So they say she succumbed to the elements. So it wasn't dismembered. None of the bodies were dismembered except the two that were found way after, the initial four that were found. So who knows? But there's some sick person out there. There's a new set of eyes on this case. Yeah. Well, the FBI is involved now. I mean, so I knew it was going to be a matter of time until something got leaked somewhere. I mean, 9 years have gone by. They're protecting this case at all costs, but hopefully no other people have died. How do we know this guy hasn't found a different, Gilgo Beach somewhere, and he has a whole new burial ground with more bodies? Whoever he was, I mean, if this is all his victims, or if the four are his victims, it seems that he killed once a year, maybe twice a year. So, most of the girls went missing. I believe the timeline is sometime from the 2007 to 2009. So maybe a 2-year span. He killed 3 people. So this wasn't he's not like a Ted Bundy or something. But still sick, obviously. Could be a group of guys. Yeah, I've heard that before. If you go on Web Sleuths, there's a whole bunch of theories. It just got too, like I said before, just too convoluted. I mean, there was just so much information on there that it was so overwhelming. And they just kept harping on, this Peter Hackett guy, the doctor, and, all the characters that the police had already said had been cleared, So not even they're not even people of interest. If the police don't want to call somebody a suspect, they'll say a person of interest. And none of those people were people of interest. They'd been cleared. So yeah, I think he acted alone too. I don't think many killers, do these group things. There's been talk about, these like killing groups and all this crazy shit. I don't know. I really think it's one person who built, a rapport with these girls, was able to kind of get them to come out of their comfort zone and, do what he had to do. So, I mean, if you look at just the time he might have courted each one of these girls, because there's time between these killings. They didn't all happen, in a year. I think there was one a year or 2. So yeah, the FBI is involved. They joined the case. I believe it was last year or the year before. So yeah, exactly. NYC Urbanista, the time span. I just want to see something. Long Island. I'm gonna look on my phone. Long Island serial killer. I want the timeline because there was a good timeline in the book that I told you guys about. Here we go. There's actually a website. Is that for the book or let's go. All right, so you know what? Maybe I'll show you guys this. Hold on. We'll look at this. This is actually a good thing to look at. Which I think is this. Okay. Let me go to a new window and I'll open Google. Hold on a second. I don't know if you guys are seeing that. Oh, you are. Okay. So we got Long Island serial killer timeline. There we go. Oop. I'm not gonna look at this one. I'm gonna look at this one. Okay. So yeah, let's see what the timeline is here. So so we got I'll type this in the chat in case anybody wants to look at this later on. Okay. All right. So 1996, 2 female legs wrapped in a plastic bag are discovered on Fire Island west of Davis Park Beach. Oh, west of the beach. Okay. But still in a place where you would have to take a boat. That's the place I was talking about where you could only get there by ferry or by boat. Okay. So, all right, great. I thought they were found in a garbage bag pail for some reason. Anyway, December 19th, 2000, the first 2 human torsos is discovered. The first of 2 human torsos is discovered by hikers in the Long Island Pine Barrens in Manorville off Hazley Manor Road. So we looked at that before, right? 2003. The second human torso is discovered in the Pine Barrens, not far from the first. The remains are identified as Jessica Taylor and 20-year-old I'm sorry, and it should said N instead of end or A. A 20-year-old escort from Washington D.C. last seen days earlier at the Port Authority bus terminal in Manhattan. That's interesting. I wonder if there was ever, security footage when they found her. Okay, so now this is the 4 that were originally found, okay? So 2007, Maureen Brainerd Barnes was last seen in her room at the Super 8 Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. Her last known call that night is to her sister, Missy, during which she says she is at Penn Station. Fine. Now, 2009. So look at that. Almost 2 years. 2 years between killings. Between his first, if this is one person, which I believe it is, because I believe these are somebody else. I believe that there's one killer for these 4. So 2007, right? What happened 2008? I don't know. Maybe he went somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe he just killed one girl for, that year. I don't know. It's weird. July 12th, 2009, Melissa Barthélemy is last seen outside her apartment in the Bronx. In the next month, her sister Amanda will receive 7 phone calls from a man claiming to be her killer. 7 phone calls. And they won't even release what was said in those phone calls. There's a little detail out there, but not much. Okay, so then that was 2009. So then a whole nother year later, almost, Shannon Gilbert disappeared. Okay, so I don't even want to count her, but we'll just say it was, right? But if you go from Melissa Barthélemy to Megan Warren, that just scared the crap out of me. It goes a whole year, 2009 to June 5th, 2010. Megan Waterman disappears from the Hop Hog Holiday Inn Express, last seen heading toward a nearby convenience store on foot. So, a whole year, which makes me think he was grooming these girls and then killed them. I don't know. And then now okay, these are the closest to June 5th, 2010 and September 2nd. Amber Lynn Costello. Chris, can you close the door? Thanks. Amber Lynn Costello leaves her home in North Babylon to meet a client never to be seen alive again. So, very weird. Very, very weird. Yeah, I see your comments, but if I'm reading, I can't see them. So, hold on. Dr. Shachter Spiel, Chris Byer. Being higher. When she made the note of the crossbar. Oh, the crossbar. Okay. No, Julian. I'm not doing true crime. Definitely not. I'm gonna just this case because it's I'm very familiar with it, and I was like really into it, and I followed it pretty closely, and also because it's local. I have no interest in doing other cases. I only get like really invested in certain cases, so I don't think I would be very good at this. Like Gray Hughes and John, they pick up all these cases and they're constantly going on, these cases, and I don't know how they do it. Home from dinner theater, so I just got here. Cool to see you covering a crime case. Oh, cool. I am familiar with chemical castration for the sickos, especially those, corrupt in law enforcement. I don't know, Al. I don't know if they're, did you see the new evidence that was released today? We could show you. Let me get off here for a second. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting stuff, to say the least. Let me stop screen sharing. I need a cigarette. Whew. We could keep twisting her arm. Who wrote that? That's funny. There's definitely cases I've had interest in over the years, but I don't know. Like, like what was that case that happened right after the Chris Watts case? That Kelsey, what was it? Kelsey something. Why can't I remember that name? Either way, I don't know. It didn't get me, interested in it. I don't know why. Only certain cases catch my interest for some reason. And the only reason this one really does is because it's like it's happening in my backyard. It's yeah, Kelsey Barris, that one. I didn't follow that. That other one that everybody's talking about now, I haven't even followed it. So I don't get, I don't get that invested in every case, but I do love true crime. I mean, that's what actually brought me to YouTube in the first place, was just I followed a lot of true crime cases. So, who is that just came in? LC's, uh, is it Ellie or L? I always feel like I'm saying everybody's name wrong. Uh, has has Burke been cleared? Giovanni, I mean, I assume so. I don't know. I honestly don't know if he's been cleared because I don't know if he was ever a suspect. But as far as the police, by the public, yeah. But I don't think he was ever a suspect. Whoa, you mad, bro? I haven't seen you in like a million years. How are you, girl? Holy shit. Blast from the past. You mad, bro? Is back. Where have you been? I haven't seen you. How says it? H? Could be a K. Because he's a lefty. I'm a lefty too. I never wrote K's like that though. That's like, I don't think it's a K. It's got to be an H. I don't know. I think it's a pretty clear H. These are only a half inch tall, right? Isn't that what they said? A half inch or a quarter inch tall? They're not that big. So this is super, super zoomed in that we're looking at. These are very, very small, whatever it is, pen. I don't know. I wish they would have made that a little clearer. The Aaron Hernandez. No, I didn't watch that, but I might check it out. That Aaron Hernandez thing, because that was another story that was like huge years ago that people were really into, and I just had no interest in it. I don't know. I'm left-handed. I don't write my keys like that. That's for sure. That looks like, yeah. The only reason is because like there is a clear crossbar there, but I don't know. I guess if you look at it a certain way, it could be a K. I don't know. It looks more like an H and an M to me. But it's good to see you, Hugh Mad Bro. I haven't seen you in so long. I think it's a H also, but he wears his. Oh, that's funny. I like to watch court trials. I hear about cases I didn't even know about that way. Yeah, yeah. It's simply L as my initials had to change since we both escaped you know who. LOL. It's simply L as in my initials had to change since we both escaped you know who. Wait, we? Me? I'm lost. I'm lost. I wonder if that was his mark on the victims, if it was embroidered into the belt. I thought the burlap bags were. Oh, I should see if I could find that, Hold on a second. There was a interview that I saw that there was a mention from the police commissioner at the time, or the police chief, whatever they are. I get those confused all the time. And I specifically remember him saying something about those burlap bags. So I just want to see if I can find that. Hold on. YouTube. It's so interesting, all this crap. Long Island serial killer case. I'm pretty sure that's what I looked up. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure. Oh, rubber lips. Rubber lips. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that. Oh my god. Oh, they released this James Holmes, the Colorado movie theater killer. They released this, oh my god, it's so long. It's this long ass freaking interview with a psychologist or psychiatrist, one of them. Oh my god, I was listening to it last night. It was long. We'll just put it that way. That guy is so weird and creepy. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? Let me see if I can find this again. Long Island serial killer interview. It was Spoda. Let me see if I can find this now. I don't know if I should play somebody else's video though, because I don't want to get in trouble. Return to Google. Oh, there's Gray Hughes' video. Shit. There's not that many videos on here about it, so. Long Island. Well, I never saw this. A Long Island woman's ex-boyfriend. Oh, that's not related to this. Never mind. I think the guy's name was Spoda. I think it was him. I remember watching this interview, and it was so interesting. Oh, is that it? No, that was the profiler guy. Okay. Damn. There's a lot more videos since the last time I looked at this. Ah! Is that it? Oh, I don't want to play this. I'll just put it's an A&E video, so I don't want to play it. You know, copyright nonsense. I'll post a link to it in the chat. But I don't even know if this is the one, but it's a pretty good video. I wish Richard, yes. Okay. Man, I would love to play this, but I don't want to get in trouble. So, my channel is in good standings right now. I'm not risking it. Sorry. There's the link for it though in the chat, you guys. I gotta go in my YouTube studio so I could. Oh, I didn't even see this one. I don't even know if I saw this one. All right. There's so much. You guys just, type in Long Island serial killer. Just know that they, most people call it LISK, Long Island serial killer, or the Gilgo Beach killer. So, if you search any of those, I'm pretty sure you'll get the, you guys will find information about it. There were so many freaking things I copied now. I don't remember what I copied. Links for this. Anyway, Susan Bonds might have that movie theater guy's interview with the shrink. Yeah, Soldier Photos. I was watching it last night, and he's so blah. I watched the first video, and he's very shy. You could tell he doesn't talk much. He doesn't have, he doesn't elaborate on anything, and he's just staring. That's what was so creepy about him. He almost doesn't blink. He just kind of stares into the distance. I don't know. He's a weird dude. Very weird dude. Oh, right, the podcast. I remember that. I heard that there was a podcast. I never saw it. And there is, again, something coming out on Netflix about this, next week. So that should be interesting. So I guess I'll be watching that, and we'll be discussing that, too, at some point in time. You never know what you're going to find here on Make a Mobster. You could find, one night I'm screaming at people. The next night I'm talking about my family. You never know. It's random. I gotta change my banner on my page. Anyway, all right, guys. I'm gonna call it a day here. We will catch up next week. My husband goes back to day work, so thank God. Thank God. I feel all out of whack. I feel disjointed when he works nights. It's I don't like that my family's not together. You know what I'm saying? I see my son and, him during the day and then my son at night. We're all separate, I hate that. So, and he doesn't get to spend time with my son either. He sees him for 5 minutes in the morning, and by the time he gets home at night, my son's sleeping. So, and I know that he doesn't like that. He loves my son. So anyway, I am going to leave it there, and we'll catch up. We'll talk. We'll see if anything else comes out, and I'll be back. I do. With that said, that my husband's going back to days. For those people that were asking about my grief series, I think I want to refilm what I had filmed. That I just don't like it. It's too messy. It's going to be impossible for me to put it all together. So when he goes back to work, I'll be able to film during the day. And hopefully get another one of those up. So thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you, Gray Hughes, for coming up and for sharing your map with us. Thank you to, hold on. Jared Dawn for the super chat. Everybody have a good night. Be safe. And make sure you don't get caught by any serial killers. All right. I'm just kidding. All right. We'll talk soon.